Hello and welcome to CineQuest video. On today's episode, we're going to see if Bryce and I have been Stuckmanized. We're talking about Shelby Oaks. All right, Bryce, we're talking about Shelby Oaks here from the movie reviewer, Chris Stuckman. Were you aware that he was a movie reviewer?
No, I don't know who the fuck this guy is, to be honest with you.
Wow. I'm surprised because, I mean, that is one of the main draws that people go to watch this movie.
I did not get Stuckmanized. I'm sorry. I just heard a lot of good things about the movie. I mean, I was down to check it out. Why don't you enlighten me, elucidate me on who
Well,
Stuckman is?
Chris Stuckman has been a movie reviewer for a little over a decade, maybe 15 years, 16 years or something like that. And he was on Screen Junkies for a bit, or he guest starred on Screen Junkies like back in the day with other movie, or like more famous, I guess, more movie reviewers or whatever. I don't know too much about Chris Stuckman other than the fact that he's a movie reviewer on YouTube. And I mean, I've been watching him since like 2020, I guess, during the COVID times. And yeah, I mean, they're real short reviews. Like, I know he's been talking about his movie for a long time. It took a while to get up and running, but eventually he did it. So we went to go see it, and it's in theaters. But yeah, that's another reason why like this was a draw, because again, it's a critic, movie reviewer, creating something, and now he has put it out into the world and for all us to review and criticize.
Do you feel a certain kinship with this man, Ray, since you review movies, and hoping maybe you'll finally get your movie, Bimbos from Outer Space?
Say Bimbos from Outer Space. I'm pretty sure that movie's been made already, Bryce.
That seems like a movie you'd make, man. I don't
know. Let me see. What else? Yeah, I mean, overall, Bryce, what'd you think about Shelby Oaks?
I liked it. It's weird. I went into it not knowing what to expect. I mean, actually expecting something, and then it's subverting those expectations in a good way. But I don't know. It was kind of weird how they marketed this movie, and maybe it was for the best, because like I don't know. I feel like it's gonna get. To be honest with you, I was really surprised there weren't more people in the seats when we were there. Of course, keep in mind it was a Thursday night, at 11:40.
Yeah,
it's pretty late. But I think the angle they're going for on the trailers should get some people in the seats.
Sure.
I was just the twist on it, or not twist, if you will, but like the tonal shift.
Right.
I mean, that phrase is used so much, but it was pretty jarring in a way. I was kind of like, at some point, I was kind of left being like, wait a minute, wasn't this supposed to be this type of movie? And I was like, I don't know. But overall, it was good. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, same here. I wasn't sure what to expect. The trailer kind of made it, I mean, it was very vague, I guess, as far as like how far we're going to go into the movie, especially whenever we're in the middle of it. I wasn't expecting some of the little twists and turns that came with it, and a lot of pleasant twists and turns, because I've mentioned this on numerous occasions, and we even were talking about it as we were leaving the theater, that it has certain elements that usually draw me in pretty quickly, and that usually I don't want to say it, but there's certain elements that draw me in, and it hooks me in because I like this particular sort of subgenre of horror film, and it had like other, and just in general, like very occulty kind of stuff, having to do with like religions and stuff like that. And I think that has to do with the fact, since you didn't know who Chris Stuckman was, he used to be a Jehovah's Witness, and he escaped Jehovah's Witnessdom. I guess I don't know how you would say that, but yeah, and then he became a movie reviewer and whatnot. And he's been making movies since he was a kid. They showed little clips on his most recent video on YouTube of him making like really shitty home movies with his friends and whatnot. And that when he wanted to do more of that stuff, he had friends kind of like not show that much interest, and then he wanted to talk about movies. Friends didn't show that much interest in talking as much about movies as he wanted to, so that's why he started the YouTube channel to quote unquote find community out there, because I'm pretty sure there are like-minded people out there who love and have a very big passion for talking about movies. You know, like not everyone likes to go into much depth. You know, like we do and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Or even other people that we know. I mean, not that they're not on these episodes or whatever, but like there are other people that we know that like to talk about film as well. But yeah, there's not usually that's like I would say like a unique group of people. But anyways, that was his kind of a little bit of background on him, and which is where I saw some elements in the movie from his past, and I guess I mean, just for someone who like seems to like he has a passion for film, you can see certain elements. I really liked a lot of the cinematography; it was done pretty well. The performances were really good. And there were certain elements that were very creepy to me, again, personally, because we mentioned this earlier before. Just to reiterate that whenever a certain person comes onto the screen, you don't see her face, and then you kind of see them kind of like far off. You don't get too close to them, but then you do. But then you back off to where you see like I guess there's a shadow that kind of like casts over them. So like it's kind of like letting you know that
Let's
this
just
person's
say,
not.
without giving away too much,
Yeah.
that Ray's creeped out by Where There's Originals and Mental Aid or Bender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that I did like this movie a lot, and for his first time, it wasn't a perfect film. I did have issues with a bit of the pacing. I appreciated some of the pacing, like in the middle of the film. But I think my favorite part was the very beginning of the film before the credits.
Yeah,
And
or like
then
trying to be because I saw a lot of comparison to Blair Witch Project. I mean, not a
yeah,
lot, but I saw some people like a modern day Blair Witch, or people were kind of saying stuff like that, and it just didn't go enough into the documentary style to do that. I feel
yeah,
like, but
mhm,
overall, it was like I said, the change was abrupt. I felt like, or even not so much abrupt, but you were kind of left with me like. It actually, no, you know what? It wasn't abrupt, but you were left kind of like at some point being like, "Wait a minute, what's going on?" I was like,
yeah,
"Isn't
yeah,
this supposed to be this type of movie?" And I don't know, but I mean, I enjoyed a lot of the subject matter of the movie too, as you
mhm,
know, Ray. Like certain things that you like, I do as well. That aspect of the movie, I like the shots they set up with the certain character. I won't say
mhm, yeah,
what, but
yeah,
I thought that was really done well, and I just like I'm a sucker for good like silhouetted like shots and whatever the certain entity in the movie. Like I
mhm.
like the way they did it. I don't know. It's like oh, you know what's funny too, Ray? Is like I got a lot of Rosemary's Baby style vibe from it
Yeah,
too, in a
that's true.
way. Like
Yeah. Well, I
you know
think
what I
that's
mean?
where a lot of the elements of since it being his first movie, he's drawing on a lot of films that he's known stylistically, and just even like you said, like a Rosemary Baby vibe, or think of like most recent stuff like Hereditary, or um, even like you said, Blair Witch, any kind of found footage film, because
It's
it has
yeah, it's
a found footage element, then like kind of a little bit of a documentary element to it, and then just a
yeah.
regular film, and those kind of like things all are all jam packed into one. So you're kind of like jumping from all those different types of I guess subgenres into this film. But I don't know. Overall, it did work for me. I appreciate his approach, and I mean, I don't know exactly. It is a low budget movie, but distributed by a bigger indie film distribution thing like Neon.
Well, that's funny because yeah, that's right. It was a Neon movie.
Hmm.
That was another thing I was going to bring up, which is some sort of similar to when we saw The Crow
Yeah,
uh, remake or reboot or what do you want to call it. I did notice that this movie had a ton of executive producers,
yeah,
and but it wasn't
But
done
I will say though
badly. Like now, I think the other one. Oh,
I
go ahead.
mentioned before that the executive producer angle was the people who donated to like the Kickstarter or whatever the fuck it was that got his movie funded. Like they all get
Yeah.
executive producer. I mean, I don't think they have any say or like pull on any. They're just like funding the movie, so that's where their executive producer
No,
thing
I
comes up.
understand that, but I felt like, and I guess it's not true for every movie because like I had said in our review for The Crow, I was like, when do you see like the credits is like 3 pages of like executive producers, it to me it's like which this wasn't the case with this movie, so I stand corrected. But when I saw that and I saw how bad The Crow was, it made me think that like, okay, they couldn't get this movie backed by anybody with a sense for like good cinematography, like good cinema. So they had to get like other people to like in like, hey, you want to
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
throw in some of this
Yeah.
movie? You'll get a credit on this. And it's just kind of like, ooh, I was like, now I kind of see why they couldn't get backing for this movie, but that wasn't the case for this one. So it was good. It was done well. I liked it,
I
but
think
I did find it interesting that some of the it reminded me of like I guess that's how movies are produced nowadays, man. It's like Kickstarter or like Patreon because some of the names were like they look like usernames on Reddit or something. It was
yeah,
like
yeah.
hyphenated, and what is going on
Yeah, those
here?
are all just contributors to the Kickstarter. Well, like depending on like the
Yeah,
tier that they contributed, they have like a executive producer credit to their name. Yeah, I mean, like not to give too much away. Like I said, I enjoyed the performances. I enjoyed the cinematography, stylized way he was doing things. And again, it's not perfect. It's not a perfect film narratively. At the end, like the narrative kind of like left me a little confused as to the angle, as to what happened. But I mean, I guess that leaves it kind of ambiguous as to why things kind of played out the way they did, or was someone working the background? I don't know. I don't know.
I could definitely see it if they wanted to, like a Shelby Oaks too. This could be
Yeah,
like a
yeah,
franchise in some
they
way.
could pull that off for sure. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, as far as like I said, you can't give too much away. You don't want to discuss it too much because that would pretty much give away the whole movie, and you don't want to do that. But I would encourage you, Bryce, to you can go check out Chris Stuckman's YouTube channel. You can see how far back he goes with like the reviews that he did. Just a quick rating on Shelby Oaks out of 5. I would say for me personally, I'm gonna give it a solid 3 out of 5. That's where I would stand with Shelby Oaks.
I am going to take the lazy route and say I did or that. I was gonna say 3.5, but then when you said three, I was like, you know what? That's probably a little bit more comfortable
Yeah.
seating. It was a good endeavor, and I enjoyed a lot of aspects of the movie. But like I think what you said, the pacing was off a little bit in some spots. Like I didn't
Yeah.
know where it wanted to go with it, and it was trying to like mishmash a lot of stuff together. But overall, I enjoyed a lot of it. I like the visuals. I
Mm.
don't know. I like the story. It was good. I can easily see them doing like a sequel, and I don't know if that's cheap or not, but I can easily see them making like some kind of sequel or franchise off this.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
still think people should go to the theater to watch this movie.
Yeah,
Like
watch
most
it. It was
certainly,
good.
yeah. Right. I mean, whether they know who Chris Stuckman is or not, I think this movie should get people's money. Anyways,
I didn't know who he was, and it was just I saw a lot of. Like, I guess the marketing campaign on Instagram was good for
yeah.
this movie. Like, there's a lot of reviewers who got a lot of people I follow who do reviews for horror movies. They give it a good, they give it a shout out. I was like,
Well,
let me go check it out.
this whole time, I thought you knew who he was.
I
I
didn't.
thought.
I just heard a lot of people saying, and it was also funny because I kept talking about Shelby Oaks, like, man, like, oh, I hear good things about this movie. This movie pretty good, and you're just kind of like, I don't know. I was like, always thought it was weird. You're just kind of like, because you follow a lot of reviewers too, so I thought it was weird. You're just kind of like, whatever. Like, I don't know. I was like,
Well,
that's the only thing that's coming out right now.
no, I mean, I wanted to watch this movie, but I wasn't sure how it was going to come out because, I mean, it's a YouTube reviewer, movie reviewer. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. You, Bryce, or anyone else who's listening, that from my what I remember is that is it who's a famous movie reviewer? Not Gene Siskel, Roger Ebert, right? Roger Ebert.
Yeah. Mhm.
From my understanding, again, correct me if I'm wrong, that he what participated or wrote screenplay or had some part in like the Valley of the Dolls or some shit like that.
Yeah. Oh wait, are you
And
talking about Gene Shalit?
No, it's not Gene
Yeah, yeah.
Shalit. No.
Yeah, I know. Yes, he did, and it was a big stink fest.
Right.
From what I
So like
understand.
that's if it's someone that I don't know or someone who's I mean I'm more willing to give the benefit of the doubt to someone I don't know who they are because I mean I don't have any like preconceived notion of where they're coming from. But if it's someone who's critiquing film, making a film, I would imagine people would be a bit harsher for his take because someone who's reviewing films or critiquing films, like you're already like putting yourself in a position where you think you know better than the actual creator of that particular piece of art that they've made, you know?
Yeah,
But so whenever you're putting yourself in a vulnerable state, I think you're more likely to draw either more haters, more harsher critiques, or anything like that. So I was just kind of like, I mean, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with the movie. I'm not too hyped on it. I'm not hyped on it. So I was kind of just in the middle.
I'm kind of
That's it.
curious though. Like if you're famous for reviewing movies, and then you release a movie that just absolutely bombs, just crapola, how could you ever go back to being like telling people their movies suck again? You know?
Oh, what I was actually, I'm glad you said that because after what happened was he got a lot of backlash at some point because when he was making this movie and he was trying to like get his foot in the door, or he was in the process of making this movie, he took a stance on his channel that he was no longer going to review. He was only going to review movies that he liked, as opposed to like bash bad movies or movies that he thought were bad. And people, he had some backlash because of that. Like he was a shill, like he was like just selling out, all this other kind of stuff. But I mean, I can understand that point because I mean, you don't want to be too harsh of a critic anymore because you see the process, you see how hard it is to get
Yeah,
things done. Uh, I'm pretty sure your 100% vision isn't on screen. You know, you have to make certain compromises here and there. So critiquing a film that's bad is just you kind of even shitting on your own process in a way and opening yourself up to like uh, even people probably not wanting to work with you because you talk bad about their project or whatever. You know, who knows?
yeah,
But that's where there's kind of like a slippery slope when it comes to critiquing stuff. You know what I mean? So who
yeah.
knows? But yeah, that'll be the end of our review for Shelby Oaks. Definitely check it out and boiler free review that we just gave you.
Yep.
I really wanted to say certain things about the movie
Well, I know
because
you did. Oh, I
I was
know you
just like
did.
inching towards it. I was just inching towards it. But anyways, that'll be it for us. We'll see you next time on our next review. Maybe it'll be the Jimmy and Stiggs. Maybe it'll be was it Begonia? Maybe it'll be some other film for the remainder of the month that I hopefully can get out in time because I've fallen behind already. And whoop de doo. So there it is.
It was coming.
I was gonna crash. I didn't think I was gonna make it, but like, and I didn't. So
All right.
yeah, that's
All
it.
right.
We'll see you next time.
You got what, like 6 more days? No, 7 more days? You got a whole week?
I might come out with 2 or 3 at the most, unless we do like some new stuff. And
So
then
you're not gonna get the whole 31?
it's more than likely not gonna completely happen. No,
Damn.
next year, be ready for the 31 because it's gonna happen. Or else I just give up on that entirely and just do reviews as I see fit throughout the rest of the month. So who knows?
Time will tell.
Time will tell. All right.
Hail Paimon, dude.